Hey guys, so in this video we'll be talking about the CNC machine. So this is the CNC machine that we're going to talk about. So in this video guys, this is the first video on the CNC machine. So in this video we'll be talking about the basic structure of the CNC machine. Now you can see that I have put some electronic components, but we'll not be talking about that. We'll be talking about that in a separate video, detailed information. But this video will be talking only about the basic structure of this CNC machine. So that big one is not the actual CNC that I first made. So this is the one that I first made, that I saw it on YouTube, and then I made this one. Like, this is the y-axis. You see, this motor controls the y-axis in that way, and here is the x-axis. Like that, there is a motor right here which controls the x-axis. There you see. So you find this thing inside a CD player, guys, inside a DVD player. So I have got that from inside a DVD player, and I have done that just to see how the working of the CNC was. And when I was confirmed with how it works and all that, because this is my first time I'm making a CNC, so I went out and I did that one. So let's talk about this one now. Okay, so let's start with the first thing that I built. Okay, now the first thing that I built was this rectangular frame that you can see. This one, this rectangular frame, that was the first thing that I built. Okay, now that's the basic thing of any CNC. You need the outermost structure. So that is the one that I first built. Like, you can have your own desired size for that. Now this is something like 17 inches by 10 inches or 7 inches might be. So that's the size that I chose, and then I had got these holes drilled in for these linear rods to be fit in, because this thing slides on them. Now you have to take real care, guys, while you do that, because the hole has to be 90 degrees inside here and also inside there, because you need this thing to be parallel to that one. Alright, now the only way you can have that is both 90 and those both 90 as well. So when that's parallel, you can get this one to slide pretty freely. Okay, now this CNC machine, that it does not pretty slide very well. Okay, so this is just a plotter, it's not a 3D printer. I actually wanted to make a 3D printer, but I ended up with a plotter because this one's the first one that I'm building, guys, and let's go ahead and build many more, and I'll be making videos on them, on many more, like more accuracy will be there and etc. But this one is the first one, and so it's not that accurate. You can see right here, you see, you don't want to have that. Now my CNC machine, this one is a little not parallel on that side. Alright, that hole was not 90 degrees, so there's where I got pretty good. Alright, so one more thing that you need when you're building this CNC is, you see this axis, that's the y-axis, and this axis, that's the z-axis. You need those both axes to be exactly 90 degrees to each other. Okay, you need them to be exactly right angled, so that your diagram will be exact and accurate. The exact diagram that you have on the PC will be printed here. So if you want that to happen, you need the both axes to be 90 degrees. So there is another video in which we'll be talking about that more detailed. So what you have to do is, when you cut these pieces, you have to be exactly 0 point whatever you want. You have to go accurately even with the point. Okay, when you do that accurately, so this will be exact the same size to each other. Okay, I'm talking about this one and this one. So when they will be exactly of the same size, it will be like one piece. So when that's one piece, it's like, you know, it's just like one block, so you don't have to worry about the mismatching of the degree on the holes when you're making right there. Okay, so now next thing what you have to do for getting it 90 degrees is, again, you have to keep these things parallel to each other, these both these linear rods, and when they are parallel, so you see, this thing is parallel to this thing, and this thing is parallel to that thing. So when those both are parallel and these both are parallel, so you get exactly 90 degrees. Okay, so you see, if you don't want to have this, what you can do is you can go ahead and these both with these both, you have to keep them, you know, a little more wider space between them. So when you keep a little more wider space between them, this won't happen. All right, I got this because I told you that I hadn't got that whole 90 degree in there. Okay, I was little fiddle with the drill, and so I did not get that 90 degrees. So that is why I had to drill it again, the same hole I had to drill again, and so I got that not too straight. So that one hole out of the four caused this, guys. So trust me, you don't want to, you know, get on to with this thing. So if you don't want that, you have to get a little wider space with this. Yes, of course, you have to get good holes in there, but as well, you can reduce that even more with when you have this of more size. Now you might be thinking that when you have this of more size, it's gonna make this thing to make a smaller sized diagram or smaller sized print. So if you don't want that, you can increase the length of this thing. So when you increase the length of this thing, you increase the length of this thing, it will come back to the same. Okay, so you add one here, add one here, it's the same again. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what we have here, what I have used here. So you can see this one is the x-axis. Okay, that's called as the x-axis. So now what I have used in the x-axis is these linear rods, right? These linear rods on both the sides, you see, and it's gone in there and in there. Okay, so that's how it slides. Okay, it's not sliding because the motor's gone off. All right, I put it off. So I'll show you though. See, that's the way it slides. So now what I've got for the y-axis, now this rods, in the description below I have the link for you to buy them. Okay, you can buy them from the link below if you need that. Now we'll be going ahead and we'll be making another CNC machine with the aluminum. Okay, with aluminum angles and aluminum material, so it's gonna be a little more accurate, guys. So this one is just the basic one. Okay, so let's talk about this one first. So now that's for the x-axis. Now let's go to the y-axis. Alright, now what we have for the y-axis is really different from what we have for the x-axis. Now what we have in the x-axis, as I told you, is these rods and those holes right there. Now what I have for the x-axis here is really different. It's not necessary that you have different systems for both the axes, guys. It's very good when you have both the systems same, but I had a little problem here, and that's why I had a little different system for the x-axis, y-axis. So what we have in the y-axis is these rails and in rails. Okay, rails and in rails. So now rails you can get easily, and I recommend for rails because they, you know, fits pretty good and does not have much of jerk in there. So why I did that was because I could not have these heavy rods on this. Okay, because you see my motor is having not such a great RPM. Okay, it might be like 150 RPM or something. So that is the reason that I had this system on the y-axis. So you see it slides in that way, and for it not to come up, it's been locked here. See, it's been locked to this right there as well. See that it's been locked in that way there. Okay, so the motor is going to come up from here. Okay, it's gonna rest on this thing right here. Motor is going to rest on this thing, and only the rotating part is going to come out of here, and there is going to be a belt running like that, coming here, going around this thing and going back there. Okay, now you see that you don't have to have the same system that I have. Okay, the same ideas that I use, you can even innovate it more, guys. And as I told you again, this is my first time making a CNC. Now you guys might be making the CNC first time, you might be hearing about them first time, or you might have made many more CNCs, or you might have seen many more CNCs before as well. But this is my basic first CNC, guys, and I've tried really hard making it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm really interested in CNCs, and I'm gonna go ahead and make many more. So basically this video, this thing what we are talking about, the CNC, I'm making 4 different videos on this thing, guys. This is the first video. So this is here's what we spoke about, the base of the CNC, and we'll be talking more about the base of the CNC. And the second video is on the total information of the CNC machine. Okay, so I'm gonna explain to you in detail about what you need to look at when you're building, what you need to concentrate on, etc, etc. And so that's gonna be the second video, and the third video is going to be on the electronic components. So you see you have a little complicated electronic components been fit here, so I'm making a detailed video. So on the electronics, that's going to be the third video, and the fourth video is going to be on the G code. So we'll be making a G code, and we'll be executing it to that thing, and that thing's gonna make the drawing. So by the end of the fourth video, guys, we'll be able to complete the CNC machine, and we will also be able to make a drawing. So I'll see if I can fit a pen in there, and we'll go ahead with that. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Alright, so before we click out, let's go ahead and just once more go to the detail, or just a brief of whatever I've used here. So you can see I've used 2 rectangular things for the outer frame. That's on these 2 sides, they are parallel to each other, so you can use those of whatever size you need. And I have attached that, and the angle between there is exactly 90, so that thing and that thing is exactly 90 in there. So that's what makes the outer rectangular thing. So there, if you see here, there's something like a pulley here. We'll talk about that in the next video, because that is needed for the electronic components. All right, so that is attached here, which is gonna help this thing to move. Now what we have here is these 2 things. Right, they're of wood as well, and they're attached by these things. See these three things, and you see that I have drilled holes for that, so it slides. And this thing comes out from the side right there, so that the platform here, there's gonna be a platform here resting on these 4 things, if you have noticed. Okay, there will be a platform there, and the pen is going to make a diagram on that platform. Okay, so this all is going to go under the platform, so it's not going to be seen. So there's going to be a total cover on that, and that's on that is going to be the paper. Okay, so now what I have used here is these rods linear rods, you can go into the description, go through the description, guys. That's an important thing that most of you don't do, so I request you to go through the descriptions of any videos, not just mine, any videos. So let's talk about this thing now. This in rails, and rails is what is used here, and above, underneath what we have here is this, just a simple platform made out of the same material used here, wood, same size, etc. So the motor is gonna be attached here, and this is also whatever size you want. So this is something like 3 inches by 2 inches maybe. So that's what's all of that, and there is gonna be a pen inside this thing. So let's go ahead and talk about the other things in the next videos.